Bottled water. We all trust it. After all, who wants to take a perceived risk with tap water when you can get a crisp Dasani? Some people even talk on and on about how they can taste the difference between every brand. But what if I told you that bottled water wasn't made with any special procedure or filtration? In fact, quite the opposite. Bottled water lacks nearly any regulation, ignoring pretty much every FDA standard any other food or drink would have to abide by, which leads to it being far more of a gamble than tap water. And the plastic packaging also holds concerning consequences, having a direct health impact on you when you drink it. So please stick around and find out why you should maybe avoid drinking bottled water from now on. Let's start by talking about the lack of regulation on bottled water. For starters, any water bottled and sold within the same state legally can't be regulated by the FDA, which means I could get some water from here, here, or right here, and sell it back to you as wonderful Ice Hill water with no FDA involvement whatsoever. And this method of bottling water is how 60 to 70% of all bottled water is sold, according to a study from the NRDC. Pretty much getting it from anywhere and being accountable to no one. But you must be thinking that companies are required to properly filter the water before selling it. But the answer there is likely not, with the Minnesota Department of Health not requiring bottled water companies to use certified laboratories to test their water quality, and also allowing them to self-report the results of all tests.
Is it true that the bottled water maker is the one that does their own testing and then submits their reports to you?
Bottled water manufacturers have to do their own testing on their own products and on their own sources.
But the bottled water company isn't required to submit a regular report to you, correct?
No, they are not required to.
That's basically the equivalent of a student telling their professor, "Yes, of course I did my homework," while having a suspiciously clean record of success. Now into the more direct and potentially dangerous repercussions of bottled water. Most water bottles are made out of a type of plastic called PET, which is a plastic that degrades and breaks down over time. However, seeing as it's the plastic of choice for bottled water, it also leaches directly into what you're drinking, with the European Union officially deeming all water bottles over 1 year old unsafe to drink. And it's a concerning sign of the government classifies your drink as a bit of a ticking time bomb. In fact, a recent study from the National Academy of Sciences found that on average there are 240,000 particles of plastic per liter in bottled water. Though this discovery is so recent that the effects of these nanoplastics haven't been tested on humans yet, in mice it's been documented that these plastics hamper skeletal/cellular regeneration, decrease fertility, decrease heart function, damage their mitochondria, and all these effects could be passed on to their offspring. And although mice are the most prevalent mammal that have been studied for microplastic consumption, its negative effects are documented on a wide array of animals, oftentimes straight up killing small invertebrates or causing a host of neurological/physical issues for all multicellular organisms. So we don't really need a warning about microplastics, as they are very obviously not a good thing for living things to ingest. So overall, bottled water isn't exactly the innocent, everyday beverage you may view it as. An inherent lack of awareness about the true nature of bottled water is exactly why the regulations on it have been so loose for so long. So the next time you're thinking about getting a bottle of cool, crisp water, just remember it could technically come from any water source with any level of filtration and is also filled with over 100,000 microplastic particles. That's a bit more honest description than what the label will tell you.